There's a kind of silence that just isn't peaceful, you know? It's that heavy silence of a child who learns to stop talking. Not because they have nothing to say, but because no one ever really listened. Imagine a little kid sitting in a corner, eager to share something they're proud of, but slowly realizing their words just float away into the void. It's heartbreaking. You can almost picture their small heart sinking a little more with every ignored attempt to connect. Some kids don't rebel, they just fade away. They shrink themselves, hoping that maybe this time, being quiet will hurt less. They think, if I just stay small, maybe I won't get ignored. This is the reality for so many children who feel invisible. It's like being in a crowded room, but trapped inside a bubble, able to see everyone, but never truly seen in return. Can you imagine how lonely that must feel? Every ignored child starts with hope. They try to reach out, talking, sharing, connecting. But when their words just hang in the air, when no one looks up from their phones or busy lives, something inside them starts to shift. It's like watching a flower wilt in plain sight. The light is still there, but the petals stop reaching for it. Psychologists call this emotional neglect. It's when a child's feelings and needs are brushed aside. Not out of cruelty, but out of distraction or emotional unavailability. Picture a child proudly showing their drawing, only to hear a distracted, "That's nice, honey," before the adult goes back to scrolling. It doesn't seem like a big moment, but to that child, it's everything. They learn that being invisible feels safer than being overlooked while trying to be seen. It's a sad trade-off, but they believe it's the only way to protect themselves. Over time, they stop asking for help. They stop sharing their dreams. They stop expecting anyone to listen. They build quiet walls around their hearts, convincing themselves that silence is strength, when really, it's survival. People mistake their stillness for shyness or maturity, but deep down, it's a kind of loneliness that words can't fully describe. Their mind learns a painful pattern. Being visible leads to disappointment, so they start to fade before anyone can ignore them again. And when these children grow up, they carry that silence into adulthood. They become the listeners, not the speakers. They say, "I'm fine," when they're breaking inside. They nod, agree, avoid conflict, and quietly disappear from conversations emotionally, mentally, sometimes even physically. Inside, they carry a quiet ache, a longing to be noticed without having to shout for it. That kind of emotional invisibility leaves scars, low self-worth, that whispers, "If I mattered, they would have cared." A fear of rejection that asks, "Why speak if no one will listen?" And a deep need to please, to overperform, to finally be enough, to deserve attention. But here's the twist. Ignored children often grow into some of the most sensitive, empathetic adults. Because they know what it feels like to be unseen, they notice what others miss. The tremor in someone's voice. The pause before a forced smile. The sigh no one else catches. Their pain turns into a kind of emotional radar. A quiet superpower born from years of listening into the silence. Yet healing begins when they learn to turn that same empathy inward. To listen to themselves. Healing from being ignored means realizing your voice matters, even if it shakes. It means speaking your truth, not to be heard, but because it deserves to exist. Sometimes, it's about reparenting yourself. Giving yourself the attention, warmth, and validation you didn't receive. It's about sitting with your own emotions instead of silencing them. Allowing yourself to take up space, to be messy, to be real. And choosing people who truly listen, not just hear. Because you were never invisible, you were simply taught to hide. The ignored child doesn't stay invisible forever. One day, they find their voice, and this time, someone listens. Maybe that someone is you. So let's make a quiet pact to be the listeners, for ourselves and for each other. Let's be the kind of people who notice the quiet ones, who take the time to ask, "Are you okay?" and really mean it. Because listening, truly listening, is one of the purest forms of love. Imagine how different the world could be if every child felt seen, if every voice was heard. We could turn that heavy silence into something healing, a space filled with connection, empathy, and understanding. Because every story deserves to be told, and every voice deserves to be heard. For every child who grew up unheard, your silence was never your fault. You matter. You always did.